Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally, and this is Wrestle MSX.
We begin with Jey Uso out in the concourse of the building before he makes his way through the crowd and into the ring. Corey Graves joining Michael Cole on commentary tonight. Jey says he's going to become Mr. Money in the Bank before getting interrupted by Chad Gable, who tells us again he's going to become Master in the Bank. Jey says, "Didn't the Wyatts get you?" "It's you that should be scared," Chad replies. "You stole their fireflies, so it should be you they're after. You left your family. Your family did what I did and got away from a manipulative..." But before Jey could finish, Gable attacked him. Jey managed to turn the tables and went for a splash off the top rope, but Gable rolled out the ring to what he thought was safety. The lights went off and the piano began. Gable knew what this was and made his escape through the crowd. But as he came to the first exit, silhouetted and surrounded by mist, was Huskus. A panicked Gable made for the next exit in the crowd, but this one was blocked by a rambling rabbit, again encircled by mist. Eventually, Gable came across another exit from the arena, but the way was blocked, this time by Mercy. Gable finally escaped via the upper tier of the arena. Back to ringside, and we see Nikki Cross handing another crudely packaged videotape to Michael Cole, which we'll see later on.
Now for some ring action. Xavier Woods, accompanied to the ring by Kofi Kingston, versus Karrion Kross with, of course, the final testament. A headbutt and a big right hand puts Woods down. As Kross stands him up though, Woods surprises him with an inside package pin and gets a surprise victory.
Who saw that coming?
AOP then enter the ring and attack both Kofi and Woods. It ends with Kross locking an arm submission hold on Kofi.
Next we see Damian Priest asking Dominik Mysterio if he's spoken to Rhea yet. "Yeah, we're all good," says Dom. "Well, I've spoken to her and she's annoyed," replies Priest. The two of them then go into the Judgment Day clubhouse and see Liv Morgan in there chilling with the guys. She leaves wishing Daddy Dom luck in his match later with Ray. Priest then tells Bálor to stop letting her in. "But she helped us get the belts back. And what was that last week about you not needing us?" Bálor asked Priest. "We need each other. I just have faith in myself," replied Priest. "Well, since you've had that championship belt, you've changed," Bálor fired back.
Back from the break, we have Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega. Morgan defending her Women's World Championship. Morgan dropkicks Vega to the outside when dirty old Dom turns up. As Dom applauds a Meteora by Vega from the apron to the outside onto Morgan, Daddy Mysterio turns up. Ray. Morgan then performs the Three Amigos, presumably for Dom's approval, before locking in Rhea Ripley's submission hold, the Prison Trap. Vega manages to escape and hit a moonsault on Morgan, but only for a 2 count. A running enziguri gets Morgan another 2 count, then a sunset flip powerbomb from the top rope by Vega seems to have won it for her, but Morgan rolls out of the ring, not allowing herself to be covered.
Clever.
We then see Ray pushing Dom, so Liv baseball slides into Ray. As she gloats on the middle rope, Vega hits the 619 and a DDT on her, but only gets a 2 count for her troubles. Dom then slides a chair into the ring and gets on the apron. Vega picks it up and hits Dom with it and then goes crashing to the floor. This distraction allows Morgan to hit an Oblivion on Vega and pick up the win. After the match, Kathy Kelly asks Morgan how the revenge tour is coming along. Morgan replies, "It's going well and I dedicate my victories to the most gorgeous man in WWE, my daddy, Dominik Mysterio."
We then hear from Drew McIntyre, who's sporting a new t-shirt that says DM Hunk.
Back from the break, we hear from Seth Rollins. He says he needs the championship. If he doesn't win, then he needs to reevaluate his legacy. "I don't want to take Damian Priest away from Judgment Day." But before he could finish, Finn Bálor came out. "Everything's changed," said Bálor. "Judgment Day, Damian Priest. No, you're jealous because he has what you don't, the heavyweight belt," said Seth. "Now why don't you step in the ring so I can knock your teeth down your throat," added Rollins.
Nasty.
But before it kicked off, Priest came out. "Is this a trap?" "This is a trap, isn't it?" said Seth as Bálor and Priest both entered the ring. "It's no trap, but your days are numbered though," Priest warned the Visionary. Bálor then attacked Seth, with Priest dragging him off, telling him not to get involved. Rollins then superkicked both men and stomped Bálor. Priest had the last laugh though by hitting the South of Heaven chokeslam on Seth before he and Bálor left the ring.
We then hear from Ludwig Kaiser saying he has broken ribs from last week's attack by Sheamus and that Sheamus is a coward.
Next we have the last women's triple threat qualifying match for Money in the Bank between Zoey Stark, Dakota Kai and Nile. But just before the match we see Priest backstage telling Bálor not to get involved in his match with Seth at Money in the Bank. Back to the ring and a massive missile dropkick by Stark gets her a 2 count on Kai. Back from the break and we see Nile pulling off a double bulldog on her opponents from the top rope before she pulls off a double German suplex on the two of them.
Impressive.
We then see Kai hitting the chiropractor on Stark, only for Nile to break it up. Kairi Sane then runs down to the ring to cause a distraction, but this fails as Isla Dawn and Alba Fire come after her. With the distraction failing, Stark hits the Z360 on Kai, picking up the win and grabbing the last spot of the Money in the Bank match.
Michael Cole then tells us it's time to see the videotape he was handed earlier by that zombie. Sitting in the funhouse opposite one another was Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy. Bo said, "We made them notice us. We've become a family. I am the voice of the reckoning." "I am the reckoning," said Uncle Howdy. They then spoke together. "I'm nobody. I'm all of us. I set them free. I freed them from the cave. I gave them a family. I am the reckoning." A few other things were said at the start, but this was sort of the main part of it. And I think the takeaway from this, well, for me anyway, is that Dallas is going to be the mouthpiece and Howdy more than likely the in-ring performer.
Yeah. After yet another pant change for Michael, we see Otis eating when he's approached by Chad Gable. Gable asks Otis if he saw that Wyatt video and says they're talking about me. "And I'm going to need your help. I know you hate me." Otis replied, "I don't hate you, but this is your problem. Who knows who they'll go after next? It could be Maxine, Tozawa or you. If that happens, I'll have your back because you're my number one guy," Gable assures Otis.
Time for more ring action now, and it's Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio. It's a back and forth match until Rey gets the upper hand, but as he does, Liv Morgan makes an appearance. She pulls Dom out of the way of an incoming 619. With Dom now standing on the outside facing Liv, Rey decides to baseball slide Dom, sending him into Liv, with him ending up on top of her, obviously on the floor. Dom tries to get away, but Morgan just holds him there. Zelina Vega then heads out and attacks Morgan. Dom climbs to the top rope and is about to launch himself off when Vega pushes Morgan into Dom, who was now standing on the ring apron. This knocks Dom down, still sitting on the top rope but hunched over. Rey hits him with a 619, then drops the dime and covers him for the 1-2-3. Now I'm liking this, and I like the ending, and I can see this being a mixed tag.
Yeah.
With Liv and not a happy Dom because I don't want to be with her.
Yeah.
And then obviously Vega and Mysterio. Well, Rey. I don't think it'll be at Money in the Bank.
But just a Raw match.
A standard Raw match.
Out next was Sami Zayn to tell us he's going to beat Bron Breakker at Money in the Bank. Out comes Bron to tell us otherwise. "I'ma break you and become the new IC champ," he tells Zayn. Zayn replies by saying he's been broken 1,000 times and put himself back together, so maybe you haven't done your homework. Bron goes to leave, but then hits a spear on Sami. After missing another spear on the outside of the ring, Sami hits an exploder on Bron back in the ring and sets up for a haluva kick, only for Bron to counter this and spear Sami once again. With Zayn down in the middle of the ring, Breakker grabs the title and holds it aloft above the broken Zayn.
Final match of the night, a last triple threat qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre versus Ilja Dragunov versus Sheamus. Drew giving Michael Cole CM Punk's bracelet to look after while he fights. Sheamus took early control, with McIntyre feeling the beats of the Bow-Ring. Back from the break we see Dragunov dropping an H-bomb on Sheamus from the apron to the outside. Dragunov follows this up with a senton and a H-bomb on McIntyre, then a pin, but only gets a 2 count. Back from the break again, and we see a massive suplex from the top rope involving all 3 men. Dragunov then counters a Claymore from Drew before he climbs to the top rope to hit coast to coast on Sheamus. Dragunov launches himself, but Sheamus gets a brogue kick in and goes for the cover, but only for a 2 count. McIntyre then throws Dragunov into the crowd so he and Sheamus can go toe to toe and finish this.
A missed brogue kick allows Drew to roll up Sheamus for a 2 count. Upon breaking the pin though, Sheamus hits Drew with a knee and bounces off the rope to get momentum to brogue kick McIntyre once more. Drew hits him with the Claymore, covers him and picks up the victory, allowing McIntyre the last spot of the men's Money in the Bank. Kathy Kelly then gets in the ring to speak to Drew. Drew says, "I told you I'd win this war and I'm going to walk out of Toronto world champion." We then see him putting CM Punk's bracelet back on and Raw coming to a close.
Thank you again for watching.
And don't forget to keep your eyes out for our Money in the Bank predictions video.
Coming maybe later today or Wednesday.
We'll see.
Keep your eye out.